Hey, Brian, I'm going to tell you something. I'm very glad that you got a pastor on today and that you're getting closer to God because I was really ready to tell you off. I've been thinking about you
What?
for the last couple of days because I called you yesterday and I wished you a Merry Christmas, okay? And then hopefully God got closer to you, okay? And then that I was
Al,
very
can I ask
concerned when
you?
you,
Can I ask you? I appreciate your concern. Why would you say I'm
okay,
closer to God? I'm going to tell you from my personal experiences and where I'm sitting right now. I'm no closer to God now than I was when I was 10 years old. I've remained the same opinion since I was 10. I'm not an
okay.
extremely religious person. If you want to be religious, I'm not going to hold that against you. That's cool. You're entitled to that. Why would you say I'm just a little confused and I'm not angry at you.
Okay,
I'm just
because you
confused.
had a pastor on. You had a pastor
A
on,
pastor
and then
that's a
you
very
had him.
smart man,
You
sure.
Okay, that's fine. And let me tell you something. There are a lot of hypocrites out there that are Christians. There's a lot of far right ones, okay? And the thing is that, and maybe I just don't like the way that you thrash the Bible, and maybe you don't live yourself by that
Okay,
book,
here's
but
something
I
else
just
that you
want to
I don't
go
it's
ahead.
not that I thrash the Bible. I need you to listen to me. And
Okay.
this is
I'm
the
listening. Go ahead. I'm
okay,
listening.
so because I don't agree with your characterization.
Okay, that's fine.
I choose not to live my life based on a book that somebody wrote. Now, if you want to do that, you are entitled to do that. Here's what I do
Okay.
thrash. There's a difference, Al. I thrash the man who you support, who you voted for making money off the Bible. It would be like if somebody made money off the Torah or anything else. He gets them made in China for $3 and he sells them for 60. I thrash, I think that's a bad word, but I criticize people for buying the Bible for $60 and supporting him for selling the book, the Bible. If you want to live your life based on a book, and I think a lot in that book is fairy tales, that's my personal opinion. We obviously disagree, but that's okay. You can do that. It's not me necessarily going, or as you say, thrashing the Bible as much as people that live their life based on the Bible and then support Donald Trump and don't call out his terrible behavior and buy his book, his Bible for $60. Those are the things that I criticize. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, it makes sense. I mean, I don't agree with it, but it makes sense,
What
and
do you
so we
not
can
agree
agree.
with? Tell me what you
We
don't
don't
agree with.
agree. I don't agree that a lot of the stuff in the Bible is fairy tale. I think most of it is true, and I think a lot of it's hard to live by. Okay, and let me just tell you one thing that they maybe you don't agree with it, maybe you agree, but they asked Jesus. They asked him, "What do you think are the most important commandments?" Number one, to love God with all your heart
And you think,
and love your neighbor as
and you
thyself.
think Donald
And
Trump
when
does
you
that?
start putting your own self-interest, which you could be correct, that going and selling a Bible to promote your self-interest,
What
you're
would be the
crossing the
okay if
line.
it wasn't for
That's a
making hold on
possibility.
if it wasn't
But
for making money
go ahead.
hold on Al, if it wasn't for making money and profiting for self-interest, what could be any reasonable conclusion why Donald Trump would be selling Bibles for $60? Can you give me one
Well, he's using
possibility?
it. I think that Trump really does care about the country
That wasn't
and
my question.
possibly
Okay,
and
but
he does.
that wasn't my
He
question.
also has
Al,
self-interest to say,
Al, hear
but
me
I
out.
think he cares about both.
Okay, so Al,
Go
hear
ahead.
me out. It
I know,
wasn't
but don't. Let me Let me finish my sentence because you always
I
interrupt me. But
did,
go
but
ahead.
Al, but the question wasn't whether you think he cares about the country. That wasn't the question. You said it could be a possibility of self-interest. Let's talk about Trump selling the Bible. Can you give me any reasonable explanation that is not self-interest or selfish about deepening your pockets why Donald Trump would get the Bible made in China for $3 and sell them in the United States for 60? Can you give me any reasonable explanation other
Well,
than
first of all,
self-interest?
the thing is that he wants to raise money for his campaign
So,
because it takes money to run a
but
campaign.
he's still selling the Bible. He's already elected. He hasn't. Now, after he won the presidency, if he stopped selling the Bible, I would say, even though I might disagree with you, I would say, okay, that's a reasonable answer, even though we might disagree. Al, he's still selling the Bible. He's already an elected official. He could never be an elected official again. He will never run another campaign. So that can't be a reasonable conclusion. Please give me another one. Other
Yeah,
than
well, that's the thing is that if he's still selling, I have to go look and I have to get more information to see what he's
Al, I'm
using the
giving
funds
you
for. That's
Al,
it. That's all I got to tell you.
he's not donating it to charity. He and Lee Greenwood have been making boatloads of money off of selling this Bible. Again, $3 made in China for $60. And I'm telling you,
is he selling it to make? Is he making money himself, or is he using it for his
yes,
campaign?
yes. The campaign's over, Al. I don't know why I'm trying not to get frustrated
Well,
here.
I know, but he might be using it he might be using it to raise money for his
There's no evidence that he's getting.
No, listen, let me finish.
Okay, but I'm telling you, no.
He may be using it to raise money
He's not.
to support other candidates.
He's not.
For the MAGA movement.
He's not. Al,
Okay,
I'm answering.
Then I have to go look.
So can you agree with me?
Then that's wrong. Yeah, I would agree to that.
Okay.
I would agree that. I mean, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I would agree that is very questionable and possibly
I appreciate
wrong,
your honesty. Let me ask you another question. Now, I appreciate your honesty. When Donald Trump held up a Bible upside down in front of a church, and the owners of the church said they did not want him there and they did not have permission to be there. When he did that, and when he says time and time again when talking about religion that the Bible is his favorite book, and then in multiple interviews he was asked to read one passage, and he couldn't read one passage. As a man who does live his life based on the Bible, I assume you do, what would you make of somebody that uses the Bible as a prop, which clearly he did, and claims it's his favorite book and he can't read one passage or recall one passage in the Bible?
Yeah, I have to look at that. I disagree that anybody that does. I can't. I think that even you could at least read one passage.
But I don't.
So.
But here's the difference, Al, among many. I don't claim the Bible is my favorite book.
No, that's fine.
Okay?
I know what you're saying.
If I'm going to say,
I think he does know one or two passages.
Well, then why?
I got to look at that.
If he does, then why won't he name one? He claimed as an excuse, it's very personal to me. Anybody with a brain would understand it's because he can't name one passage because he hasn't memorized one passage.
Yeah, well, that's speculation. That's like me speculating that Joe Biden, and I did read some stuff, okay, and I support your point. That's like me saying that Biden has dementia when you're not supposed to be diagnosing people based on something that you think about. Okay, so I disagree with that. Okay,
I agree with you. Where is that coming from? It's not coming from the left. It's coming from the right. They claim he has dementia. They have never given him a physical. They don't know his personal health. I agree with you. All right, Al, I hope you have a great holiday. I hope you have a good New Year's to you and your family. Okay, Al?
All right, Nuki, have a good one. Thanks for taking my call. Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you.